Well, that's it. Another appraisal came in short. How are you handling this? This is Ron Wysocarski for Real Estate in a Nutshell. And I'm going to talk about appraisals again. I almost think we could do a weekly segment on appraisals because every day something is coming in just a little bit sideways. Number one, there's only 3 outcomes when appraisal is done. It comes in at value, everything is good. It doesn't come in value, everything's not so good. And the third thing is, how do you handle it when the adversity comes in? Well, we all hope they come in at value. And we know this. The prices that we're seeing right now, they're higher than they were a few months ago. The prices we are seeing now are higher than they were a few months ago. That's not news. And in a couple of months, when these deals all close, there's going to be a fresh batch of comps. What do you do in the middle, in this squeeze point that we're in? You know, we saw this in the early 2000s. We've seen fits and spurts, but this is unprecedented. Just this growth is unbelievable. So, when the appraisal comes in low, and it's going to happen a lot, the first thing you're going to do, if you're the buyer, you're going to tell the seller, hey, I want you to drop your price. Sometimes that happens. If it's 5 or 10 below, sometimes the seller has a motivation that they want to sell the property, even if it's 5 less, because maybe they got a good deal on the other side, and they know the house that they're buying, if they can't buy that one because the closings fail, they might have to pay 5 or 10 more for the next house. So it's in the realm of possibility that the seller may actually drop the price. It's happening a lot. Some of the people went on the market, maybe they're asking $250 thinking they've got $230 or $240. And when they actually get $250, the listing price or even more, they probably have a little cushion. And many times they will say, you know what, let's just take it. We're almost to closing. Let's do it. Now, the other side of it is the seller can say, nope, not going to do it. And the buyer could simply move forward with the deal and pay the difference. So if you bought at $250 and the appraisal came in at $240 and it's 10 short, depending on what your down payment is, you'll have to adjust that, but you'll basically have to make up the other $10,000. So if you're putting 10% down and it was 25 grand for a down payment, it's not quite 35 to add in the missing 10, but it's about that. What they would do is they take 10% of the 240, which is the appraised value, it's 24,000, and then you're missing 10,000 because you paid 250. Your down payment would come 34. Your payment is going to be a little bit lower every month because you're putting more money down, and you still get the house. And for a lot of people, if they're going to put 10 or 20% down, they just pay the difference because they realize that there's no way they're going to get this house under contract again for that price. And if they have to wait a month or two, the price will be even higher, and they'll still be without a house and still renting and all those other things. So sometimes the buyer just pays it. Now, what's the third thing? Well, they compromise in the middle. They say, look, hey, we're 10,000 apart. Let's each eat 5. There's a $5,000 price reduction. The buyer figures out the other 5 grand somehow, some way, adds it to their down payment, and you make the deal that way. Now, the underpinnings of this, if you have a down payment that is less than 5%, perhaps an FHA or a VA, that buyer may not be able to come up with that extra 5 grand. That can be resolved in a couple of ways. Gift from direct family members such as parents, that absolutely could be a gift that can help them through that piece. That's one way to do it. I can't think of too many others. Borrow off your 401k, maybe that sometimes that can happen. You'd have to check with the handler of your 401k. That could happen. You may have money in a money market. That might be it. I've seen people sell motorcycles and snowmobiles. Well, maybe not down here, but things like that, toys. Sell things as long as they document those and check with your lender. Sometimes that can be the down payment money. And there's tax refunds too, so there's some hidden ways to come up with the difference. But there's really just 3 outcomes. If the appraisal is short, the seller can reduce the full amount. The buyer could just pay it anyways because they feel it's a great deal, or they can find a way to split it up. Definitely check with your lender if you're FHA or VA, because it may say on there that your home had to appraise for a certain price. You may need to adjust that value down too. It's happening. Seems like every day that appraisal's coming a little bit short. I know this. If you're buying, or if your buyer's uncomfortable, we're telling everybody, it's very likely the price that you're paying today is going to be lower than the price you'd pay in 30 or 60 days. And if your appraisal is short right now, you may win that battle by backing out of the deal, but you may end up paying more in the long run. So if you find the right house and you love it, maybe find a way to make it work. This is Ron Wysocarski for Real Estate in a Nutshell.